Christmas is less than 4 weeks away. Hi, welcome to Bilingual Family TV, the place to be if you want to create meaningful relationships with your child while learning Spanish. Today, I'm going to share with you some gift ideas for the holiday season. These ideas I'm going to share with you meet the following criteria. The two main prerequisites for these materials are the following. The first is that this material is a passive material or a passive toy. So what does this mean? Especially with technology now, we have a lot of active materials and active toys that do things for the child. They light up, they entertain, they play the music, and the child is passive while they're interacting with this material. So what we really want to look for is passive toys, meaning toys that by themselves don't really do anything, and the child actually has to put in the work, put in their creativity, put in their effort to make this toy do something. And that's really what we want out of the materials that we provide for our children, because we want their brains to be active. The second, and it kind of goes along the same line, is that they are developmentally appropriate. I am going to break these up by age group, and you can certainly stretch that a little bit, but you have to make sure that the activities and the materials that you're providing for your children are developmentally appropriate. Because if you are trying to, for example, teach a 1-year-old the ABCs and do all these activities that are based on teaching your child how to read, it may be way outside of the zone of proximal development. That's just the zone that they're in, and where they thrive and where they can actually learn something. You really want to make sure that the materials that you're providing and the toys that you're providing your children, they're at the right place for their development. That's all that means. Just a quick explanation about reading. You can certainly develop literacy skills on a 1-year-old and an infant by reading to them. But what I was referring to was the teaching of letters and sight words and things that are not developmentally appropriate for a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or basically any age. If you want to teach your child how to read, just read to your child. But going back to the materials, here is the list for 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and 6 and up. I hope you enjoy it. So before we start, grab some cafecito because this is going to be a long one. Also, I want to let you know that I will try to put links below to all the materials that I will mention in the video if I can find them. Some of them are from a thrift store or from Facebook Marketplace, so obviously I can't link those. And then also, I want to let you know that some of the materials are within an age group in the video, but they really can be used for different ages. And I've tried to mention that in the video. So I just want to let you know that I divide into ages for convenience, but I really believe that some of the materials can be used for younger children or older children. The first toy or material is the Love Every playmat, and as you can see, my baby was not a baby anymore, but he loved this mat. And we only put it up because when he started pulling up, it wasn't safe. But as soon as he starts walking a little bit more confidently and has better balance, I think we will bring it back out and use it in his reading area. Next, we have this other playmat, which can be wiped clean, and that's one of the reasons why we loved it, because we have 3 dogs at the time we got this. We had 4 dogs, and there was a lot of hair and mud and just different things that we didn't want Mateo to be around. So we really recommend that mat. We also love these little IKEA cars. They are sort of a first puzzle because you can take them apart, and they're just the perfect size for his little hands to drive around his room, and he really loves these. We're actually currently missing the blue one, so hope we find it soon. We also love these scarves. We use these at Bilingual Family in our mommy and me class to basically play peekaboo, which babies love and really helps with object permanence. So I highly recommend these, and as they get older, they can turn into capes and dresses and forts. So they're material that has multiple uses, and that's really what you want to look for. Mateo got this ramp for his birthday, and he loves it. This toy actually helps with tracking, which is a pre-reading skill. So it's just a little fun game, and he really enjoyed it. The object permanence box. This is a traditional Montessori material, and one of the first ones we acquired. When I started reading Montessori at Home book, but he spent so much time working and being so focused with this material, and it is so simple, but what it allows him to do is to see that an object can be missing for a short period of time, and then it'll come back. While we're in the subject of Montessori, I want to tell you about this awesome subscription box called Montikids. And as I started reading Montessori at Home book, I realized how difficult it was to find Montessori materials that were quality materials, ethically sourced, etc. And I didn't even know enough to know in which order to introduce the material. So Montikids does all of that. They send you a box quarterly that's specifically designed for your child's development and the stage that they're in. So I'm in love with it right now. So with each box, there's about 6 materials. We are in level 4 right now, and we're anxiously waiting for our next box. One of the cool things is that you actually get a video on how to present each material to your child. It looks something like this, and it's just very meticulous and things that you don't think about on how your child can hold something versus how you hold it, and that can really help them being successful with the material. And lastly, for this age, the Pickler Triangle, which Mateo got for his birthday, and it's supposed to last until he's about 3 or 4 years old. Lately, he's been wanting to climb on everything, so this is a great outlet and a way for him to practice this skill instead of climbing the furniture. One thing I forgot to mention in the 0 to 3 age group is books. Books are a great gift for any age, and I just feel like you can never have enough children's books around. So for this age group, dramatic play is a big deal. I actually just realized that I didn't put a picture of the little kitchen we have at Bilingual Family, which is a DIY project. But I figured if you're watching this 3 weeks, 4 weeks before Christmas, you probably don't have time to do a DIY project, a big DIY project. But if you're interested, leave a comment below and let me know, and I may make a DIY play kitchen. that you can make with an entertainment center. And if you don't have the budget or the space to have a play kitchen, you can just have the items that go in a kitchen, like pots and pans, some play foods, and most of these are actually from IKEA and they're very affordable. You can also get things from Goodwill. Often children prefer real items like these phones or this calculator, um, which you can find at Goodwill. These babies are from IKEA. We've had them for over 7 years and they're holding up great. The bed is also from IKEA, and I believe IKEA now ships. So it's a good thing, and it can also be a very dangerous thing. I found this little playhouse on Facebook Marketplace. I was actually looking for one, and it's really difficult to find a wooden one that doesn't light up and is not full of colors and pink and purple. So the children loved this house. In fact, the first day that I brought it to a bilingual family, we had most of the boys playing with it. It just goes to show you that toys can be for everybody, and it's important to make sure that we have those opportunities to play with different toys, not necessarily the boy toys or the girl toys. Blocks. I love blocks. They are so versatile. They're an open-ended material, and really any age can benefit from blocks. We have very young babies just carrying blocks around, then stacking them in a single tower-like structure, and eventually starting to develop more complex structures and making bridges and so on, all the way up to 10 years old, 11 years old. And when parents come to bilingual family, they play with blocks as well. Art materials are also a great gift for any age. From paint, markers, crayons, paintbrushes, glue, the list is endless. I know many children who would be ecstatic to receive a box full of tape or cinta. They just love gluing and putting boxes together with tape. So providing enough materials so that they can be creative, and also having those materials available, preferably at all times. You can have a little cart that is the art cart, and all those things are available. And if you're worried about, you know, children writing on the walls or cutting their hair or anything like that, my best advice to you is to present the materials to your child. Show them how to use the markers, show them how to use the scissors, and obviously have those available with supervision. But I feel that a lot of the times when children, quote unquote, go crazy and go right on the walls and draw everything, is because they haven't had experience with those materials. And so when they do get a hold of a marker, they do get a hold of scissors, they don't know what to do with them. But if you have them available and you show them how to use them on a consistent basis, then they already know what the markers are for, they know what the scissors are for, and they'll be able to use them correctly. I love Legos, but I especially love the Legos that are part of the basic set, you know, the traditional Legos that are just the blocks, not necessarily the ones that make a spaceship or make some um, character with the instructions. There's a place for the instructions, but I feel like that's the only thing you can make with the Lego. A lot of the parts cannot easily be used for a different creation, where the basic Legos can be used for anything. So, and I feel like there's a lot more creativity that comes with the basic Legos. Magnetiles. This is another material that I think is good for any age. Again, I see children as young as 9 months grabbing them and looking through them because they have a bit of a see-through plastic, so you can see through the magnetile. And then as they get older, they stack them and then they start building structures. And again, we have parents playing with the magnetiles when they come, either for Mommy and Me classes or for any of our events. So this is truly one of those materials that is enjoyed by any age. Geosticks. These can be used to make something directly from one of the cards that come with the geosticks, or to make anything the child wants. And our students truly love creating with these. I'm often amazed at all the creations that they make from these simple geosticks. And finally, we have these soothing river stones, which again can be used for almost any age, although they have, each color has different sizes, and the smallest size could be a little bit small for some children. But the cards that come with these stones vary in difficulty. So you could have a very simple pattern where it's going from smallest to largest, to a very complex pattern like the one you see here. And it takes a lot of patience to balance these stones and a lot of concentration. So it's a material that I highly recommend. If you like that video, give it a super me encanta, share it with your friends. And if you want even more resources, head over to bilingualfamily.us and sign up for our newsletter. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, second language acquisition is all about relationships. Adios! 안녕하세요!